Stephen from Tomball has some pier problems.
Well, he's helping an elderly friend sell his house, Tom, and he came across this underneath it. Actually, a home inspector, found it. Stephen writes, an inspector found these gaps in 2 piers, and the house projects, he says, Tom, out into a ravine. And only about a half of it is pier and beam, and the rest is on a slab. The structure seems well supported, and the beams sit on steel plates, but a buyer walked on them because of this issue. He says, I had the foundation inspected, it's true and level. So he wants to know, can I just buy some steel shims and drive them in there with a sledgehammer or something to close this up so it won't be a problem?
Well, there's no doubt it's a very odd detail they have there to leave that up like that, but it might work. I can't see if there's a nut on there, but it could be an adjustable a beam when that's a nut and a bolt that can raise and lower it a little bit. It's a little hard from the picture to see if there is, but if there's a nut on there, it's meant to stay loose. If you wanted to close the gap, you wanted to put some steel under there, it makes people feel good. I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it. But it is an unusual detail, but I think it's done so it can be a adjustable addition that can be adjusted up and down in different areas, in those 2 areas where it is. But steel would be fine. Yeah, the answer is pretty simple, yes. Yeah.
Well, but then again, if it's something that's meant to be adjusted and he goes in and changes that, wouldn't that undermine it? Should he maybe look for the builder who built it in the first place and say, can you explain why this was done this way?
But it's not going to help a buyer that gets an inspector that gives them a bad report. And what I would tell you, if you want to put a shim in there, as long as you don't weld it in, as long as you don't permanently attach it to where it can be pulled out and readjusted, if that's the case, and I'm not sure that's what that is, but it looks kind of like that's what it is, then I would say if it makes people feel better to buy the house and you want to put a block of steel under there, some plate, and have one make a little block that fits up under there so it fills the gap and makes people feel like there's more bearing on there, I'm good with that. Just don't weld it or bolt it in place. Make sure it can be removed if that's truly what it is.
All right. You want to help with your challenges? Tom will help you just like that. Go ahead and visit HomeShowRadio.com. Fill out that Ask Tom form. It's real easy. You'll click on that blue button. You'll see this thing, and then, wait a second, here it comes. It's an animation. There it is. It's like a loop. I have to wait for it to get here. Then you go ahead and fill out all that information, send it our way, and a picture helps, just like it did with us answering Stephen's question. And we want to answer yours, so that's why we post them every day at our YouTube channel, at Home Show Radio YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and of course at HomeShowRadio.com.